Hey students, we have another Monet project this week. We're going to be creating water lilies, and we're going to use our blending oil pastel techniques to make the lilies, and we're going to do some wet on wet watercolors for the water behind it. So Monet did a ton of different water lily pictures through his years, and I'm just going to show you a little bit now, and it's unbelievable how many different paintings he painted of his water lilies in his garden in Giverny, France. And so he just absolutely loved these, and today I hope you enjoy making them too. Okay, the supplies that we're going to need are pretty few for this project. We need some watercolors, we need some water, we need our oil pastels and a white piece of paper. If you have watercolor paper at home, that is even better, but if not, you can just use construction paper like I am using today. It's just regular old construction paper. Also, the paper from your sketchbook will work just as well. So we're going to start out with drawing the lily flowers. As those lilies go up towards the top of your paper, they're going to get smaller and smaller to show perspective, to show the bigger ones look closer to you and the ones farther away are smaller. So we're going to start with just a basic lily shape with just a nice U, and I'm using my red oil pastel. Now we're just going to do some petals on that U, just like that. Then on the back of that, we're going to draw the back half of the flower. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to copy the same flower that we did, but we're going to draw it maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, so maybe there's one right over here. And then the back. So you can have them go down all the way or just have them come down just a little bit. And then let's see here, I'm going to do Now, once you've got your lilies drawn, you're going to want to use your white oil pastel to blend that red a little bit. So what you're going to do is just right on top of those, you're just going to blend it. And with Monet's pictures, they look really dreamy-like. They have that dreamy-like quality. And so we're just going to kind of do that a little bit to our flowers. Now, another thing you might want to do is take your yellow. I just have a tiny bit. I'm just going to do a little bit of yellow on the inside to look just kind of like the center of the flower. Okay. All right, after we have drawn our lily flowers, we are going to put our different lily pads in. And so what we'll want to do is we're going to want to draw our lily pads with our oil pastels. So we take a green. Now with a lily pad, they are kind of like a flat oval, but they have some kind of roundedness to them. So what you do is you can just do, so I have a little cutout right there, and you can do that because the cool thing about nature is nothing is the same. So then over here, I'm going to draw a little lily pad. And then each one of these guys is going to get one. And you know, one thing I was going to tell you is not all water lilies need a lily pad. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our blue colors and we're going to draw some ripples around these lily pads. So it's going to show just some movement in the water. So I'm just kind of tracing around the outside. Okay, and then you might want to use your blue too. Maybe the ripples go out a little bit farther. You don't have to do it on all of them. All right. There also might be just some ripples in this water out there. Okay. We've kind of blended our water lilies. We've added some ripples and texture to the water. And now it's time for us to take out our watercolors. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it kind of like a night scene. So I'm going to use all cool colors in my water, but I think it's going to be really pretty, like if I use blues and purples in my water. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to paint my lily pads first. So I just go right into my water. And we're going to paint these lily pads. Now the cool thing about these oil pastels is, remember, because of the consistency of the oil pastel, because of what it's made out of, that oil, it is going to react as a resistance to your watercolor. So it's pretty impossible to completely paint over something like that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of this water area wet, and then I'm going to drop in my color. And do you see how when you get it wet, see how that spreads? And it has that cool wet on wet technique. One more thing you might want to do is I'm noticing that while it's still wet, I want to add a little bit of darker green to my picture. And so I'm just going to blend some blue-green together. And I'm just going to make these a little bit darker. All right, now we're all finished with our pastel resist water lilies. We'll let these dry and we'll be all finished. Hope you guys have a fantastic week. Take care. Bye.